I can hear you, no problem.
When we talk about this peer-to-peer lending, which is extremely important because it's not the only equity which will take a company from stage A to stage B. Now, as per New Companies Act, if I'm not wrong, the way they define deposits is even if you take loan from the general public. So the New Companies Act will not allow you to take such loans. And even if they do, they have defined that your net worth has to be 100 crore and 500 crore top line. So those people don't need these loans. So then you're out, you need to have an NBFC, and then you are getting to the regulatory web. So even if you want to do, because I know for the fact that a lot of people want to do it, they can't do it. So how do we, help that?
So obviously from a regulatory perspective, there's a stepwise process, right, which you have to go through. I think it takes time for the government to essentially understand what are the requirements. The quote-unquote phenomenon of startups is only over the past few years really caught sort of the public attention. There's been entrepreneurs and startups in the history of every country, and particularly in the history of India since the beginning of time. I mean, we always have very dynamic Jugadu entrepreneurs who do various things. But the flip side of it is the government also is trying to create a protection for the general investors to not essentially get pulled into something which they don't understand. So it is a bridge that needs to be met. The previous speaker mentioned Uber not even being existing in India 2 years ago. It's basically because there are certain regulations that exist that prevented that from happening, and now people have found ways to work with the government and to work around that. So in lending, it's also going to be just a matter of time where if you can create the right, again, platform for information exchange, which makes the government feel comfortable that what you're doing is actually declaring the right set of information, that there's a governance process in place, that there is that there's a proper audit, that there are the right players who are authorized to do this, who are actually participating in the process, and that it's not just a completely unregulated, uncharted, unrestricted type of environment, then there's a huge opportunity to do that. So if there's a startup that goes out there and says, you know what, these are going to be the governance structures I'm going to have in place, this is how I'm going to go about doing it, I think today's government is willing to listen to that. And it's just a matter of time before somebody goes out and essentially says, I'm going to spend the next 3 years trying to build this thing and making it happen, because there's a huge opportunity to do that.
Yeah, hello.
Sorry.
Yeah. I didn't get the gentleman's name, but to answer your question, there are various instruments available without accepting a fixed deposits or a public deposit. You can still get the funding done from your peers and your friends in the existing scheme of Companies Act. So there are ways and around, as you told, there are a lot of jugadus and ways around. So there are many ways where you can just accept some kind of convertible debentures with coupon rates, etc., which allows you to do it even without getting into the public deposit scheme thing.
Yeah, but those show up more as per my experience at least, those are looked at more as equity types of investments rather than actual pure loans and debt, which come with a slightly different connotation and expectation of return and expectation of participation and ownership as well.
But you still get an option to exit even without, you don't want to convert.
But then SEBI would be into picture. The moment you have a financial security instrument, it's not only RBI, you're dealing with SEBI, and for a startup who doesn't have a right amount of net worth, you can't do it. So if one guy is going out to build it, you need a net worth of 2 CR. So now, even before you started, it is scaled. So what we are saying, you are right, that is on an equity or convertible instrument, but we're talking about pure play loan. So that's where the issue is.
Yeah, and I think this discussion actually highlights the point that there's too much complexity in the existing environment to try and leverage these types of different, to leverage people willing to invest in this sort of way. Next question. Yeah.
So I know a lot of startups who sold out early, as in they were in, like, say, they worked for like 4 years and they sold out early just because they were running out of cash, they were running out of steam, they ran out of energy, they sold to some profitable startup which was already backed by investors. Do you think your platform would eventually help these kind of guys who eventually had a very strong product but lacked the money because nobody believed in them?
Yeah, so to a large degree, the investment club today is, for lack of a better word, and because there's no VCs in the room, it's a mafia. They basically run after the same type of themes, the same type of companies, and essentially it's a self-professing, sort of, self-fulfilling cycle where they are essentially in a cyclical way driving up the valuations of the same things. So it takes, it takes a lot of guts for someone to have a contrarian view and say that, I'm not going to run after e-commerce, I'm going to go put my money behind something else. And it probably takes a longer gestation period. I think when a startup hits the news, everyone thinks that, this is an overnight success. It suddenly became $1 billion in the past 6 months or in the past 1 year. But if you look at most of these companies, they're 3, 4, 5, even 10 years old. Again, I was associated with Paytm for 5 years personally. The company itself is now 13 years old. Everyone thinks Paytm just got launched last year. So it is actually exactly to address these problems, which is there are good businesses that make good money and revenue. It may not be the right quote-unquote timing in the eyes of a typical VC or a typical PE, but it doesn't mean that it's not a good business. But the flip side of that is not all businesses should get funded, not all businesses should survive. Businesses need to die, they need to shut down, they need to move on because, certainly, more than 2/3 or 3/4 of companies that get launched are doing the wrong thing. Or they're doing it in the wrong way. So the right balance needs to be struck, but the incentives behind investment today, and therefore the decision making behind which companies survive and which companies die, are actually geared are geared towards basically just creating these large ticket unicorns.
So there's a unique relationship between an entrepreneur and an investor basically, and as you said, angel investors are very rare or less in number. So how does this cycle works? As in the entrepreneurs look for the angel investors, or is it the other way around, or is it a two-way? And you being an angel investor, do you look for the startups, or have you been approached? And what is like in investing and being an angel investor?
So everything is always a two-way street, right? I mean, do you look for a job, or does a company look to hire somebody?
Both.
It's both, exactly, yeah. So the straightforward answer is it's both. But obviously, the initiator, by and large, many times is the company who's looking for funds. There's a group of people who've gotten together, come up with an idea, and say, now we need 50 lakhs to build the proof of concept. Otherwise, we won't have an office and we won't have funds to survive. So then they start going out and looking for angel investors. So by and large, it typically is that way. But all of these institutional platforms are also very proactively seeking new companies to go out and invest in. So if you've built a good company, if you've got a team and you're seeking angel funding, then approaching these platforms is also something you must do, because they're also facing competition, right? They need companies to put money to work in.
All right, thank you.
Sure.